It's my absolute favorite time of the year, Wimbledon. Right? Besides Christmas, I like Christmas a lot too.
Yeah, I left my draw sheets. Oh, it's okay.
I have draws here.
I wrote mine down.
All right, everybody ready for Wimbledon? I know I am. Right? You? All right.
I haven't watched much tennis, so I looked at the draws today. They weren't very exciting.
I kind of disagree with you. There's quite a few first round matchups that I think are worth kind of taking time out
but
for.
didn't the names kind of seem to you like when I looked at Tommy Paul ranked 16? I was like, really? Men's tennis? I was like, really? Cerundolo? I was like, really? Some of those names, those people that were high rank, I'm like, is that what tennis has come to?
We'll see what happens. All right, let's get in. Let's lock in, Carla. Let's go. Ready? You gonna be hanging right here?
Can one of you guys bring me the draws? I left them right there on the counter. Thank you.
All right, let's do this. So hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Sunday, July the 2nd. By the way, if there's any internet glitches, you should all know this after 5 years now, 6 years of doing these shows. We live in Dauphin Island, Alabama, which is a barrier island off the coast of Alabama. And when it's busy here, I think there's one fiber optic connection that comes across. When it's busy here, which it is for the holiday weekend, July 4th, sometimes we have glitches. So apologies in advance if that occurs. All right. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Sorry for the last minute pre-Wimbledon show, as it's been a really busy couple of weeks for us. We've had two camps at Mirror Lake Club where we teach, and we have an upcoming tournament. So there's been a lot of logistical things that we've been doing, and it's been relatively hot to say the least. Mm-hmm. Okay. By the way, I wanted to start today with a shout out to Cam Williams, because Cam Williams is going to be our liaison between life and live Wimbledon scoring next week, because we teach all week and then have our own tournament this upcoming weekend. Okay. Anyway, we are going to be giving out random cash and prizes throughout Wimbledon. So remember, in order to qualify for those random cash and prizes, make sure you subscribe. It's free to do so. And also get involved in the live chat. So in other words, put hello or whatever you want in the comment section, which we have live here. A lot of you catch this after the live recording. So get involved in the comments, whether it's now live or whether you watch it tomorrow for us, if you're in Serbia or China or Japan or wherever. So remember to get involved in the chat, because we are going to be picking random names out of the chat and sending cash and prizes to. And as well, we will be having some fun little games between now and then. Okay. We will definitely be doing a few shows during Wimbledon. We used to do it every day, and because of our responsibilities now and a tournament this coming weekend, it's just going to be impossible for us to do it every day. So don't think anything has changed, but we're going to do our best to deliver a quality product without being too exhausted, right? I think we were going to do this last night, but we were like, we're just not fresh enough, right?
No, we're not.
Yeah. All right. Starting today off with a note of propaganda. Does that make any sense? So for the past few majors, we have been assaulted with the lack of flags being flown because of a conflict, and not getting into geopolitics, but because of a conflict in Eastern Europe, namely the Ukraine and Russia conflict. We're not going to get into that, but I hope we are not assaulted with propaganda based upon where, say, Sabalenka or Azarenka.
You're not going to see the flag, so I don't know why you even bring it up.
It's so ridiculous. It's
but
like,
you're not going to change it. I mean, the Olympics did it, and the tennis has been doing it for a while. I mean, why would they stop now? The war's still not over. I don't get it.
So I guess, we tennis fans that may or may not have any, I guess.
Where are you traveling to in Alabama, David?
Who? David Vulich? Mm-hmm. He's coming to Alabama?
Where in Alabama? How's the weather? Hot. Feels like you want to die out there.
Bro, David, if you're coming to Alabama, I don't care where it is. Let's pick a spot and let's meet in the middle.
Can I get my draws, guys? Yeah.
Okay, I got draws here. You can have mine.
No, I wrote down on mine.
Anyway, let us know where you're coming to Bama, and we will.
Oh, Huntsville.
Oh, is he going to a Fish show?
I doubt he knows who Fish is.
Fish, the band, is playing in Huntsville
next week. No, it's not. That can't be next week.
Anyway,
he says Park Ranger Training.
Oh, killer! Where? Okay, so
Okay, so you will be maybe like in the 90s,
he's going to be like in the Appalachians, the
80s. He's
Yeah.
got cooler temperature.
That's really cool. So park ranger training in Huntsville,
16
Alabama.
to 22.
It's beautiful up
So
there.
he'll be there when Fish is there.
Yeah. So look,
But Fish don't matter. Don't worry.
so look, Fish is playing in Huntsville for 3 nights during those days. If you have any way to venture to this amphitheater in Huntsville where Fish is playing, I can assure you, even if you think I'm crazy now, you'll see one of the best experiences you have ever seen. It's a really good time. I wanted to take Carla and the kids to those 3 nights, but we have a lot of things going on. Our oldest boys of our 5 children are coming home from the Air Force Academy. So we kind of passed on it, alas, but we are going to go to the Nashville shows in Tennessee in October. And I'll go by myself if I have to. No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave, baby. You know that. But we hope to go to those shows then. All right, let's start the Wimbledon discussion off with this. Okay. And can you poll question this just to get it going? All right, we're starting off with the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and it's no longer debatable. Historically, when you look for the best of the best, whether it's boxing, whether it's tennis, whether it's NBA, you're looking for most championships within a given era. And the person that has the most championships within this era, the open era, is Novak Djokovic by himself in the lead and first place with the most. Okay, here's the poll question. You ready for this? Is Novak Djokovic's toughest opponent himself? In other words, you have Djokovic and 127 other players in the draw. Is Djokovic's toughest opponent himself? Is there anybody else a threat to him than himself? In other words, if he doesn't play great, then he will lose to himself. But otherwise, if he plays like Novak, will he win it convincingly? I vote yes. I think himself is his biggest challenge. And as long as he plays like himself and doesn't, bow down to himself, then I think he takes another leg up and separates himself from the pack by more than one. Agree or disagree? Okay, everyone else seems to say yes. We have multiple votes in already. What's up, Gene
That's the
Swart?
dumbest thing I've heard.
How's it dumb?
Come on, Justin. When you lose, you don't lose because of yourself. You lost because somebody figures something out.
Okay, hold on. Let's rewind for a minute. And let me get this started.
Yes, we all have shitty days.
Okay.
But that's part of life.
A couple of U.S. Opens ago.
So when I took a test and I failed, it's because of myself.
Could be if you were anxious or not thinking clearly.
And you figure that out. Come on.
Okay. When Novak was Novak was a victim of an errant ball coming off his racket and hit the line judge in the throat.
That's different.
He beat himself then. Otherwise, he would have won the tournament, right?
That's different.
How is it different?
But when you're playing a match and you lose, you can't say I lost because of myself. I was fighting my own demons. I was fighting myself, so I lost.
That's very true.
Oh, come on.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. That's the dumbest. Kids, when you lose, use that excuse. I lost to myself today. I didn't lose because my opponent did something different. Come on.
I think it's a very valid question. If Djokovic plays within himself, he wins this tournament.
Right? So if he loses, somebody beat him because that day they played better. Simple.
Well, look at the other side of the spectrum. If Novak plays at 80% of his capability, then he'll beat everybody else.
That's his problem. Do we all wake up 100%? No, there's some of us that wake up better that day. So what? That's part of life.
But what if
when you take a test, if you're on that day, you'll get it. You'll get it. If not, it's like the ACT. Don't say that. That's the dumbest.
What if he wakes up at 77%?
That's his problem. He should have woken up at 100%.
I disagree.
So Nadal, because of his injuries, he lost to himself.
We were watching earlier today. We were watching earlier today Nadal playing Taylor Fritz, right? And
yes.
It was the 2022 replay, right? And that was an example of
he lost to himself.
Yeah,
because of his injury.
He lost to himself.
His body couldn't keep up with this, so he lost. Simple.
The proof is in the pudding.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyway, who out there, by the way, put it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Novak Djokovic will win this major, and put a 2 in the chat if no, you do not think he's going to win this major. So 1s for yes, Djokovic, the GOAT, increases his lead, and 2s in the chat if you think that Djokovic will not win. I'm putting 1s in the chat. Let's go.
Of course you are. It's the safest bet. Why would you not? You would have to be dumb.
It sounds like you're being contradictory to yourself.
No, I'm just saying that's so stupid. You know, that's that's like when Serena would play. I mean, you had to bet on her, duh.
Let's go, Alani. Let's go, Gene.
But then there's always a case like, when she lost to Roberto Vinci. No one ever thought that. That can happen. It can happen.
Very true.
It can happen.
That was probably the worst U.S. Open final I've ever seen.
That was the semifinals. The finals was Pineda against Vinci.
Exactly. So you had two veteran Italians in the finals of the U.S. Open.
What I'm saying is that it can happen. You never know. Nothing's guaranteed.
All right. Moving forward, Djokovic will win this tournament. Take it to the bank. Put your money on it. By the way, we'll get into the betting odds of this in a little bit. Djokovic is the only clear favorite in the men's and women's combined. So
I believe that because I don't even know who to pick for the women's.
All right. Moving forward. So Carla the other day mentioned to me that Caroline Wozniacki was coming out of retirement. Now, I think you alluded to say she was coming out of retirement for Wimbledon, but that's not the case.
No, she's coming back to the Canadian Open.
Okay. So another Canadian, by the way, Canadian Open, another Canadian that's making his return appearance, having been the Pillsbury Doughboy 2.0,
like it anymore.
Is Milos Raonic. Raonic. How do you think Milos Raonic will do this Wimbledon?
I actually had him doing pretty decent.
I've got him getting to the fourth round.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Okay. Pretty spectacular. How do you think Milos does this Wimbledon?
He's got nothing to lose.
He's got a good grass game.
Yeah.
Okay. Big hitter,
most
big
of
serve.
these draws are cheesy.
Okay. Now let's jump forward real quickly to Nick Kyrgios. Okay.
I read that he wasn't even looking forward to coming back to Wimbledon. So my question is, why are you even playing it?
Nick Kyrgios is always Nick Kyrgios. He always says he's not looking forward to something. So that way, if he loses, it doesn't look as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So why did I bring these two up in the same theme? Okay. Milos Raonic coming back. Okay. Maybe he's practiced. Maybe he's drilled. Maybe he's been coached well.
He's lost weight.
Okay. Yeah. He thinned down. He's no longer the Pillsbury Doughboy. Now he's more like Gumby. Right? Something like that.
He's muscular. He's always been muscular.
So why we bring these two up in the same sentence? Well, being match ready is different than being practiced ready. Okay. What's the difference, Carla, of being match ready and just hitting the ball well because you've played a lot? Okay. There's a difference.
Well, you need the matches for, to see if you're a slow starter, fast starter. Can you figure out points? What about if you're down? Can you solve that? What about if you're up? Can you close it? Just being in different situations.
Yes.
That's why we play matches. Yeah.
Indeed. There's a name that we say when anyone is not match ready, regardless of what sport or discipline, and that's rusty. Okay. So we can go out and we can practice for weeks and weeks and weeks or months and months and months or years and years and years. But then we get into a match and now we have intensity and now we have competition and now we got to win and so forth. So what is the difference between being match ready and being practiced? You have to be able to solve problems on the fly. You have to be able to change your game up. Whereas you practice, you're just hitting targets, drilling, whatever. But you don't have someone on the other side of the net or on the other side of the battlefield that's trying to kick your ass, right? Mm-hmm. So being match ready is being ready to discern or to figure out problems on the fly versus being able to have a coach say, okay, let's come over the ball more. Let's take the ball early. Let's move forward a little bit sooner. Let's split step a little bit sooner. Let's move. You see what I'm saying? So being match ready is much different than being practiced. And both players, Kyrgios and Raonic, I don't feel like are match ready, right? Maybe practiced, I get it, right? But I don't think match ready would qualify either one of them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Speaking of that, did you see Venus Williams whoop on Camila Giorgi?
Did you know
that was kind of embarrassing? I'd be embarrassed if the mummy came back to beat me.
Did you know that Venus Williams and is it Svitolina?
Yeah, they played the first round. That's like basically they give her a little slap on the face. They're like, "Shut it up with your stupid ass, no handshaking things. Let's just give you Venus Williams and see what happens."
Okay, so all the Ukrainian players, we have Svitolina, we have Serenko, we have there's another,
the one that doesn't shake hands.
Yeah, what's her name? Who's the Ukrainian girl that makes a really big deal about this flag thing, even though none of them actually lived there in the first place? What's her name?
Carla. No, I don't know who's gonna win the women.
Win the women's?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a toss-up. New champion. I guarantee new champion.
I don't know. We have finals predictions laid out, by the way. So also I wanted to mention this. We do fantasy teams. We have done fantasy teams and prize or finals predictions for prizes and a lot of cash for the past 5 years. And the fantasy team competitors kind of dwindled, but we are going to do a substantial giveaway, and I'll tell you that now. So I think it was Alani or maybe someone else, and Alani's out there now. We can ask her, but someone mentioned that a better thing to do that would be easier to ascertain would be for everyone to pick who they projected to make it to the second week. Okay. So what Carla and I came up with is we both projected who we felt would make it to the fourth round. So, in just a little while, Carla and I will read off. I don't know if you did yours. If not, it doesn't matter. I'll read mine off. I'm going to read off the 32 people, the 16 men and the 16 women that I think will be in the fourth round. If you do the same, whoever has the most out of those 32 players, 16 men, 16 women, correctly into the fourth round, we are going to send either 5K tennis gear, shirts, hats, visors, same thing from YTech strings, hats, visors, shirts, jackets, or from Diadem Sports, or the equivalent in the amount of cash. So here in a little while, we will break out the draws, which I had. You have my draws?
No.
Oh, I have them here. Sorry. So we wrote down in these draws who we felt would make it to the quarterfinals, and we'll read those out. And then if you guys wish to qualify for winning X amount of cash or whatever, then you'll put your teams in comments, and we'll track who has the most, and we'll send you those gifts. Okay. All right. So let's go back to Kyrgios. What type of chances does Nick Kyrgios have to do as well as he did last year?
I don't know. Just play tennis.
Not being match ready?
I don't know. He's not match ready, so I didn't even pick him.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's go to Stefanos and Tsitsipas for a moment. Okay.
I'm so tired of seeing his stupid Instagram with this girl. After even watching his Instagram with this girl, now I don't even think she's so pretty.
Badosa?
No, she's kind of very super skinny. And after watching her with Tsitsipas, I just want to go.
Why though?
It's just so cheesy. It's like they're like so hungry for this attention. They're trying to look like they're so in love, but they don't look so in love. Like when you saw Silvina Monfils, you could kind of see it, you know? But with these two guys, I don't see that.
You think they're kind of clickbaiting just their relationship to?
Yeah, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like, I'm sorry, her doing his hair, it's just like, I'm like, okay. Then eating whatever they're eating, desserts, ice cream, whatever. It's just cheesy. And then the dad teaching her, come on. No. Connections don't happen that way. Not every time.
Carlos tends to forget that when we first met.
Yes, but connections, there's a difference. But you're not all over social media on purpose. We didn't do that.
True. I don't think social media was as prominent as
That's how we met.
You still had a BlackBerry that barely had digital.
But that's how we met. But you don't put that. You can see it when there's love there. You can just see it. I don't see that from them.
Do you remember we went?
I don't see that. Do you guys see that? I don't see that. I don't see that connection. It just kind of makes me go, ugh.
Look, Carla and I, she was in Panama City, Florida, and I was teaching in Alabama. And we met because she was trying to begin her teaching endeavors moving forward. And I was the closest person to her with the certificate she was trying to attain. Anyway, but when we met, we would go to eat somewhere, whether it be wherever we went, grocery store, and we would walk up to the cashier or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, you guys are in love. And I'd be like, well, how do you know that? Because you guys are all over each other, because you guys are huggy and kissy, right? So I think that's what they're doing. So what gives you the?
It doesn't look like.
What gives you the right to say that that's not what we used to do?
It looks forced. It doesn't look. You haven't looked at it, obviously. It looks forced.
Forced. How does it look forced?
Guys, are you like in the chat? It looks forced. It looks staged to me.
Okay, so you're telling me, conspiracy theorist, that Stefanos and Tsitsipas and Paula Badosa are being forced to hold hands and do each other's hair?
No,
that's what you're telling me.
It just doesn't look real.
Who's forcing them?
Yeah, that's just.
Sometimes I hear things from this lady and I get dumber.
No,
I get dumber thinking
so much
about
you're being in love, right? This lady. You call me this lady.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. Look,
Wait a minute. I got called this lady. Wow.
Well, we're on different sides of the track right now. You
Trust
started
me.
out talking about Djokovic, and I'm always pro. So you know what I mean. I don't see where Stefanos and Badosa are being forced to do anything. I feel like they're two young ones and they have a connection. And okay, the tangent that I'm going on is that if you are going to be a pro athlete and take it to the highest level, winning majors, whatever, you don't need any distractions. Now, why is it, Carla, that I have told all 5 of our children? Why do I tell them no girls, no boys? Because it's a distraction. Okay, you got a picture?
I find their relationship is so cringe. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. It's it's weird to me. It's the things they post. I'm just like,
what's cringy about it? Is it the PDA?
It just doesn't look real.
Public display of affection cringes
No,
you?
it's not even that way. It's just it looks. Okay, I don't even know. I'm trying to find pictures.
You're having a tough time with that one, huh?
Well, because I don't follow them. So
yeah. Now, by the way, speaking of Stefanos Tsitsipas, we did come across an article that Stefanos Tsitsipas's father is now in the coaching world, not just with his own son, but other players. That's kind of cringy to me, seeing Stefanos's father teaching. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. Obviously, his son's a phenomenal top tier player. But there's something about Stefanos Tsitsipas's father and Patrick Mouratoglou that cringe me, right? Patrick Mouratoglou, by the way, charges $5,000 an hour for lessons. And every time we watch and we do keep up with his coaching, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. He's a great coach. But for $5,000 an hour, he's telling people to move forward when you can. Duh. He's telling people to hit your backhand instead of running around the forehand. Well, duh. That's what we tell everybody. Half of the places we go and this area, it's all forehands. It's all hit the ball really hard. And we're like, how do these coaches continue to be successful? It's just because the people that they're coaching, their parents have no clue of what being a complete tennis player is. But Patrick Mouratoglou is the complete opposite of that. Hit your backhand. Don't run around it. You're wasting time. The court's going to be open. But we say this. Do we charge $5,000 an hour?
Here, look at the video.
Here, show it there.
Oh, come on. That doesn't even look like... He doesn't even look manly when he grabs her.
So how do you look manly grabbing...
Someone said it looks like a collaboration, not a relationship. Look.
But a collaboration for what?
Look.
What's up, Millennium 13?
Come on, man. That shit don't look real. It just doesn't.
When I think of collaboration, I'm thinking like Jordan mixed with Off-White, making a pair of shoes or something. So you're telling me Paula Badosa and Stefanos Tsitsipas are collaborating for views?
Like you're looking at the camera as he's giving you a kiss.
Can I see that?
Come on, man. My man is giving me a kiss. I'm not looking at the camera. Get real. Come on.
Oh, so cute. So cute. Maybe he's practicing volleys right there. I don't know. Anyway.
Does she look like she wants to kiss him there to you?
Well, unless she got her head turned.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right. Anyway, thoughts on Stefanos Tsitsipas doing well in the tournament. I'll let the cat out of the bag now. I do have Stefanos Tsitsipas making the 4th round and facing up against Sebastian Korda. And the 4th round, we'll get into that in a little while. I am going to pull for Korda here. I think Korda is a fine player. And I think that Korda, if they do meet, will take care of Tsitsipas.
I actually have Tsitsipas losing to Murray, honestly. I think that Murray is going to be tired of his shit. It's going to be like, this bitch, I have 4 kids already. And this little sissy boy hasn't won anything.
Sitsy boy.
Just saying. I put Murray to beat him in the next round.
So Murray and Tsitsipas, I think, would meet in the 2nd round.
Correct. He's got to face Thiem first.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Murray meet a fellow Englishman in the 1st round? Doesn't he?
Yeah, Peniston Ryan. Who?
Peniston, yeah.
Who, what?
We always make jokes about this, that, us dumb Americans and, the British or Australians or whatever, they tend to meet in the 1st and 2nd rounds. It's almost like they want to alleviate half of the lazy folks and the spamming PDA people and then move on without half of them, right? Because we've got a lot of U.S. versus U.S. matchups. We've got a lot on the men's and women's side of Brit to Brit matchups early on, right? Okay. Anyway, chances.
Yeah, you got like Golf and Kenin facing each other.
Yeah, and you've got Murray and Peniston And there's quite a few
There's
more.
quite a few Americans.
There's quite a few more, yeah. Anyway, who has a better chance of going further, Stefanos Tsitsipas or Nick Kyrgios?
Kyrgios.
Gene Swartz says that Murray will beat Tsitsipas. Nenad Milosevic says Tsitsidosa. That's pretty funny, actually. Tsitsidosa. I can see that. Maybe they'll get a tattoo of that on each other's like heart. And
She was better off going with Berrettini. Just saying.
Who?
Badosa.
Badosa hooked up with Berrettini?
No, she was better off hooking up with Berrettini.
Did she or did she
No,
not?
she did not.
I was about to say she's getting around.
No.
Who else? What are the other females tennis players have gotten around on tour? Vekic? Didn't Donna Vekic?
How is she? Okay, well,
Vekic hooked up with Wawrinka and who else? Didn't Vekic hook up with like? Was it Kokonakis?
Yes.
What? By the way, Donna Vekic is one of the top 10 favorites.
But Kokonakis is cute. Wawrinka is not.
All right, I don't know about that.
Wawrinka's older too.
Anyway,
Potentially could face Djokovic if he wins.
I don't know, but you mentioned Andy Murray, right?
Yeah, Andy Murray's gonna slap him, bitch slap him.
What are Andy Murray's chances of doing well?
Good, because he likes grass.
What, a steel hip?
Yeah, he would do good because I think his first match is favorable, and I think Tsitsipas is not as good as on grass as he is on clay, in my opinion. He's never done really well.
Yeah, speaking of their chances, I'll tell you what Las Vegas betting odds chances are for both of them. So Nick Kyrgios is plus 4,000. So you bet $100 on Kyrgios to win it all. If he does win it and that you took the bet, you'd win $4,000. Andy Murray, on the other hand, is plus 5,000. So
I have Murray going all the way to the quarters. I should bet that.
Okay, so if you bet $100 on Murray, Carla, go for it. Don't delay. Go ahead and do it before the odds change. But Murray's plus 5,000. So if you bet 5,000 on Murray to win Wimbledon, and he wins, you win $5,000.
I don't know that he'll win. Is there betting where he could just win a couple matches?
Well, you could bet head to head on that particular match.
I would do that in his first round, second round, third round, fourth round, and then I would stop when he got to the semis.
If Tsitsipas meets Murray in the second round, I think Tsitsipas will handle that.
I don't think so.
Why? But why? I mean, think about their game. Was it one-handed backhand or what?
Yes, he's not good on grass. He's never done well on grass.
I don't know. I
don't think his confidence is quite up there. I think he'll have a tough time with the crowd being behind Murray.
What if Badosa's in the crowd?
Who gives a shit? There's a million girls that look better than her.
I don't know. She's pretty hot, though.
You don't think that the British crowd will be behind Murray in that match, and knowing what kind of a head case Tsitsipas is, that will get to his head? You don't think that will get to his head, knowing that, hearing the crowd cheer for him, and then watching Murray go, come on. You know how loud he can be. You don't think that will get to Tsitsipas' head?
Well, I don't think Tsitsipas is new to that type of pressure. I think he's dealt with it before.
I think that Tsitsipas will go down. Mark my word.
Against Murray.
Absolutely.
I'm not even certain Murray makes it to the second round. And not because someone beats Murray, but because of the fact that maybe he limps off the court and has to retire. You know, we tend to forget.
He just won a match like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, 2 out of 3, maybe.
He'll be fine.
So his
first round's not going to be tough. So what?
We tend to forget that having an artificial hip and what we go through to get that is quite debilitating.
But we see many players play that way.
Okay.
You teach one that says,
okay, you want to make a friendly bet? Just a friendly bet.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's make a friendly bet. I'll make this bet with Carla. Carla, you think that if Murray and Tsitsipas meet in the second round, that Murray will win?
Absolutely.
I think that Tsitsipas wins and 4 sets or less. Okay. So why don't we come up with a little something to make it friendly, and let's take that bet to the bank.
Cool.
Okay. Come up with something. Put it in comments. If she wins, what's up? If I win, what's up? Well, let's do it. Okay. Now, speaking of betting odds for a moment, let's roll off a few of them. On the men's side, Novak Djokovic is a heavy favorite at minus 175, meaning you have to bet $175 to win 100 if you bet on Djokovic. Second favorite is Alcaraz, right, at plus 350. So, so Djokovic, you have to bet more to make less. Alcaraz, you can bet 100 and win 350. So the swing of that is a heavy favorite on the Djokovic side. Now, I must give a shout out to Carlos Alcaraz for a moment. You all know that Carl and I are sneakerheads and collect and hustle shoes. And we saw a picture of Carlos Alcaraz this morning with a pair of shoes that you have. And that was a pair of Travis Scott lows, right? He put the red laces in them. I was happy to see that, but I don't think Alcaraz's choice of shoes is going to help him with the likes of playing someone like Novak Djokovic on grass. But Alcaraz is plus 350. Yannick Sinner comes in next at plus 1,600. Bet $100 on Sinner to win it all. Now you win 1,600 in return. If you had to choose between Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner to win the tournament, which one would you choose out of the two?
Alcaraz.
Probably, but watch out for Sinner because
I don't know what De Minor's odds are. I don't have him going very far.
Okay, interesting. Gene with an interesting take on De Minor. All right, what about Daniil Medvedev coming in at plus 2,000? Bet $100 on Medvedev to win it all. Boom, you win $2,000. Taylor Fritz coming in at plus 3,300.
I have him going way further than Medvedev.
Okay, Taylor Fritz is at plus 3,300 plus Zverev, Korda, and Runa. All of them are at plus 3,300.
I got Medvedev actually losing to Manarino.
Really?
Yeah, Manarino's a dark horse.
Giant killer.
Yeah, could beat him.
Seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
All right, so out of these players, Taylor Fritz, Sasha Zverev, Sebastian Korda, or Holger Rune, who would you put your $100 on to win 3,300 out of those players?
Which one?
Out of Taylor Fritz, Sasha Zverev or Alexander Zverev, Sebastian Korda, or Holger Rune, who would you take out of those players?
Fritz.
You would take Fritz?
Mm-hmm.
I would go with either Korda or Zverev, not Rune because of his attitude. He's got a bad attitude, right? Okay, Kyrgios coming in next at plus 4,000. Stefanos Tsitsipas and Andy Murray are coming in at plus $5,000. So you bet 100, one of those two wins the tournament, you win 5,000. Okay?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Women's side. And there's no real heavy favorites. It goes back to what Carla always says. The women's game is a coin toss. Right? Not every woman, for the most part, less Serena and Venus in their primes, could hold serve consistently. Okay, we have Swiatek at plus 250. Okay, bet 100, you win 250. You got Rybakina coming in at plus 375. You got Sabalenka, the squealing train when she hits the ball, plus 500. You got Kvitova at plus 1,200. Personally, she's my favorite to win it right now. Okay, just saying. Coco Gauff at plus 1,400. Ons Jabeur at 1,600. Donna Vekic at plus 2,000. Muhova at plus 2,200. Krejcikova at plus 2,800. And Kudermetova and Ostapenko. Oh, damn, girl, you big. At 2,800. So, don't you think, though, thinking about Ostapenko, oh, damn, girl, you got a wide load back there. Don't you think that Ostapenko on grass, given her out of shapeness, has a chance because it's 1-2?
Maybe she can do it Bartoli. Yeah.
Yeah, Bartoli can do it. Ostapenko, can damn sure do it. Okay. Anyway, moving forward. All right, we're going to get into the draws real quickly. And this is where we're going to open up the comment section for the following prizes. Let's say 4 sets of Y-Tech strings.
No one's going to want them.
Okay, that's fine.
You have to be a player.
If you're a player, you string rackets, 4 sets of strings for free can do a lot of good for your pocketbook or for your rackets. 2, we'll do the same amount of strings from Diadem, or we'll do shirts, apparel, gear from either company, or we'll do 5K tennis hats, shirts, gear, or the equivalent amount of cash, which based upon the amount of strings, I'm guessing about $80 US immediately. Okay. Now here's what you have to do. In the comments section, this video, project what players you think will make the 4th round. In other words, the second week. Okay. So I'll tell you the players that I feel like will make the 4th round. Now, it took me 5 minutes to do this. I pistol whipped it right before we went live. And I'll tell you the players that I think will make the 4th round. Okay. So do in comments as I'm doing now and I'm telling you. Okay. For $80 or similar worth from Diadem, Y-Techs, or identical with 5K stuff. Okay. Men's side, 4th rounds, top of the draw. Alcaraz versus Zverev. Tiafoe versus Holger Rune. Medvedev versus Raonic. Do you remember that movie Tommy Boy where they're in the car and the nitrous tank blows up? They're like sitting in the middle. They're like, Raonic. I always think of that with Raonic. Anyway, Sebastian Korda and Tsitsipas. That's the top half. Bottom half, Yannick Sinner versus Taylor Fritz. Borna Coric. Let's go. Love that guy. and Casper Ruud, Nick Kyrgios and Felix Auger-Aliassime. John Isner coming through with serve bombs at 7-6, 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 7-6 until he meets Djokovic. And then it's over like 2-2-2. Okay. That's how I'm feeling the men's side will go. That's my 16 players on the men's side. Women's side, Swiatek versus Bencic. Okay. Next one, Azarenka, the squealing pig herself. Damn, hurts my ears to think about her playing Coco Gauff. Pegula, the billionaire Buffalo Bills heiress, and Samsonova. Donna Vekic and Kontaveit. Bottom side, Ons Jabeur, Petra Kvitova. By the way, I think Petra Kvitova will win this Wimbledon. And she's won it twice before, so this will be a third Wimbledon. Do I have it wrong? She's won it once. Is it twice? How many times has Kvitova won this tournament? Twice?
Kvitova, twice, yeah.
Twice? So she could be a 3-time champion. Jabeur, Kvitova taking that. Ostapenko, oh, dang, girl, you got big. Is going to face off against Rybakina or Rybakina, and that's just a guess. Madison Keys, I chose her over Sakari to get into the fourth round. So I chose Madison Keys to face off against Krejcikova, and as well Muhova, your girl. She's a big Muhova fan versus another squealing pig with a hot fire prod stuck in her ass when she hits the ball, and that's Aryna Sabalenka. She loud. Anyway, so again, I pencil whip that, but put your 32 people in the
mine
chat.
is Alcaraz versus Zverev, Tiafoe versus Rune, Manarino versus Cerundolo, Korda versus Murray, Fritz versus Sinner versus Fritz, Gasquet against Ruud, Kyrgios against Bublik, Hurkacz against Djokovic, Swiatek against Bencic, Kasatkina against Pegula. Is it Pegula? No, wrong one. Goff, Pegula against Yanakova, Stevens against Buskova. So completely different from yours.
Okay.
And then I quit because women's tennis is just too difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and good to see Mike Walker out there. And also, what's up, Sid out there? I'm not familiar with that name, but welcome and good to have you here. Okay, so here's another question, okay? I'm going to name 4 players, and I want you to pick one. Right? 4 players, you pick one. Ready? Iga Swiatek or Petra Kvitova, Carlos Alcaraz or Jannik Sinner. Out of those 4 players, Swiatek, Kvitova, Alcaraz, or Sinner, which out of those 4 has the best chance to win Wimbledon?
Alcaraz, probably.
I'm going to go Kvitova.
No. That's another case, head case. Mm-mm.
She's had a good grass season.
Yeah.
Did she just win a title?
Yeah. But you know my rule about that.
What's your rule?
They won't win.
If you win a title, then they suck at the next one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, she's got the experience. She's been around the block.
She's not mentally up here. Mm-mm.
I don't know. You know, you got to have some mental wits about you to win a tournament. She just won one. But we'll see if you're...
I don't know, Sid. I mean, if Nadal admitted to steroids, don't you think he would be in trouble? I doubt that. I just think it's just fans talking. If he did it, we'll find out.
Who?
At the steroids thing. I don't know.
Who was on the steroids?
You know, in 2010 or something, people talk about how he was so big.
Oh, Nadal?
Yeah.
Yes, we've done shows about that. Mm-hmm. And did Sid mention that? Sid mentioned this? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't the 2010 time frame. When Nadal showed up to the 2010 U.S. Open, mm-hmm. he was jacked up.
But in his defense, I mean, the guy is jacked up already. So if he worked out harder, you don't think it's easy for... There's people that have the types of bodies that if they work out, like for me, for instance, if I start lifting weights here, and I had it happen to me like in 2007, my arms are huge and people thought I was on something. And that was just because I was lifting weights. If you have that type of body where you lift weights, your muscles just pop out. And there's people that have to work out so much to just even see a bit of muscles. Well, I'm telling you, if I got on machines right now, if I got on machines and worked out every day, I would look like a bodybuilder.
Give you a workout, girl.
I'm just saying. Michael, right? Aren't there people that, it's like Serena. She got on those weights and she started working out. Her muscles would pop out. People are envious of that.
Yeah, and you know, with Mike out there, Mike, we got to figure out a friendly bet again, like we've gone like back and forth. I think the past few majors, like he's taken my money and vice versa. I think we're about even. Mike, we got to come up with
I don't know, Mike.
fun bet for this one.
Emma Raducanu is looking really mighty good to me here.
I thought you said she wasn't playing.
No, I know. We got like a 5-year bet or 4-year bet or something.
But look, back to Sid's comment though. if you look back, let's say at the 2008-9 Wimbledon, where Federer and Nadal were meeting in finals, whatever, and then you fast forward to the 2010 U.S. Open. If you can go back and look at Nadal coming out at night in all black, his biceps were like boom.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't
know. How can you go?
He was still big. He was always big,
but not that big.
What about if he lifted a lot of weights? You don't know, Justin.
What tennis player goes in pumps iron all day?
There's a lot of players.
It's not advantageous to do that.
Anyways.
He's right. He's got a great comment. 2010 was a very questionable time.
But we don't know. We'll never know.
Also, too, do you remember in 2010 there was a snitch. There was a snitch.
I have read it. I remember there was a Spaniard doctor that was going to name.
He was snitching on people. Yeah. Yes, there was a Spanish doctor in like the 2009, 10, 11 timeframe that got in trouble for assisting players with doping.
Michael Walker, because I like to listen to him because this guy's right most of the time. Do you think Nadal took steroids? And if so, do you think he took steroids?
I don't know, but I know once the Spanish doctor came out and said that, hey, I'm going to list all these people, Nadal went away for a little while. Remember, he didn't play for a little while. He kind of stayed clear of the game for a little bit.
People are envious.
It was fishy. And then when he came back, he wasn't as jacked as he was before.
He still looks jacked if you look at him.
Mm-hmm. He's still picking his butt. I know that.
So what? He's got an ass.
I don't know. It's absorbing his underwear.
Don't you wish you had a little bit of that?
I wish, because my shorts do fall off all the time. Right?
Michael Walker said, no, I don't believe he took steroids because he and Serena have always been ripped. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, even Serena, people have said a million times, oh, Serena must be taking steroids. Oh, Serena. No. If you look at, there's body types that don't have to do that. I'm telling you, when I lift weights, I jack up too much, and that's why I'm scared to do it. Because my arms, I remember my arms when I started doing it, people would look at me like I'm nuts. Like those bodybuilders, my arms were just, my shirts, they were just exploding on them. And I didn't even do a lot. And that's why I don't really lift too many weights, because I know.
Yeah, I have zero insider information on the steroids and so forth. But I do hear one constant from people that have either done them or been around it, that when they take steroids, they become more irritable. Mm-hmm. So I think that maybe looking at court conduct would be a good.
He never acted different though.
Yeah, I've heard that. You take some cycle of steroids, and all of a sudden you're this world's biggest asshole for a while.
So I don't know.
Okay, so Sid says it's so funny because Nadal himself admitted of steroid use.
I have not seen
said
that,
doctor prescribed it while
someone else come out with that facts, because again,
I've heard
I know that Sid is a Novak fan, so
it doesn't matter. He's not making it up, because I've heard the same thing.
But he never admitted. Did you ever hear Nadal say I admit to taking steroids?
I don't know. I don't know that right or wrong.
Exactly. Have you ever heard it?
But it was a peculiar time frame, 2010.
Yes.
And I don't think.
And just like when we talk about Henin, why she retired. Was she taking something?
Yes, that's another one.
Just like when Hingis was forced to retire. Why was it? We don't know the answers to this. So,
well, with Martina Hingis, we had a shoe dilemma. She had a shoe made for her. I think it was a Reebok shoe. Maybe
no.
She had a shoe, and the shoe collapsed.
It was after this. They found her to have cocaine in her system,
and Richard Gasquet was tied up in that.
Correct, but again, we don't know.
And didn't Gasquet and Hingis say because we kissed one another? Like, how do you have traces of cocaine in your system because you kissed somebody? Wasn't it something like that?
We can't prove anything. This is he said, she said.
True, but it's still food for thought.
I mean, it's just like when you used to go to high school and you used to hear, oh, that girl gave me whatever. It was a rumor. It happened in my high school, but you didn't know the facts because you weren't there and you didn't see it. So it's just rumors. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Well,
there's someone that sings a song, let's give them something to talk about.
There are many things.
Yeah. But look, Sid said it correctly, though. Yes, it's just talk. It's just cannon fodder.
Well,
but
if he said it and they didn't
to that.
Press charges against him or punish him, then I think that's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get that right. I got the grip. Yeah, I know. I've read this before.
What?
Anyways, next thing. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to roll through the first round matches, or at least roll down the men's side, roll down the women's side. And we drew dots next to players and or matches that we feel like should be paid attention to for one reason or the other. Start on the men's side at the top, Carlos Alcaraz. His side of the draw here, there's quite a few players that I really would like to see do well besides him. Zverev, for instance, major injury or a big injury, surgery, back in the thick of it. Berrettini's in there. Not a big fan of Berrettini, but nonetheless, he's there. Sonego, I hate to say it, but because of this whole
he's doing well.
Because of this whole thing when Sonego beat Djokovic, even though Djokovic handed him the match because he had already ascertained the most months.
Do they have to do men and women's?
Okay, so Gene put us in there. So yes, okay, so you can do men's and women's or just men's if you want. But for a while, Gene, as you know, Gene was one of our statisticians for the fantasy teams. And as much work as he would put into it, and Thomas Chi in Canada, it's just that the competitors got lower and lower, and it really took a lot of our time and funds to give it back. Anyway, so I really think it was Alani or someone else mentioned, hey, why don't you just say who you think will make it to the quarterfinals or fourth round or whatever. And we thought about it. We were like, this is a great idea. It doesn't take much time. It's going to be 5 minutes. So if you want to either win, and I'll cap it at $80 US, and we'll pay that immediately by means of PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Western Union, which we've sent internationally.
But they have to guess what, just one side?
No, just if you can in comments. And Gene just put his. I'll read them off. So Gene picked his men to make the fourth round. Alcaraz, Zverev, just like myself. Dimitrov, Rune, whereas I picked Tiafoe, Rune. He picked Korda, Murray, where I picked Korda, Tsitsipas. And you can read it in comments. But if you can select who you project will land in the fourth round on the men's side and who you project will land in the fourth round on the women's side, we'll go to the end of Wimbledon once the final's done and we do our final show, and we will look to see who has the most players that landed in the fourth round. Now, you could do just men's, but if someone does men's and women's and they ended up with a little bit more than you because they did both and you only did just one, then you'll lose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So, again, I just looked down the seeding list and looked at the seeds and anybody in between that, has a shot, whatever. And then I just filled them in to make an example. Right. So, it's a good way. It's a good way to win some free cash because it didn't take me 5 minutes to do it. Right. And I was writing ideas and topics the whole way. Okay, so my finals projections, and this is just a pencil whip guess, but I feel like Iga Swiatek will meet Petra Kvitova in the final, and I have Petra Kvitova winning that. Okay, I think Kvitova wins her third. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe second. Mike Walker's our encyclopedia out there, but I have Kvitova winning her third. Maybe it's her second.
Okay.
On the men's side, I have Djokovic once again handing Alcaraz a butt kicking. And I think it will be in less than 4 sets, something like that. And I think Djokovic separates himself. I'll
go with Alcaraz and Djokovic too.
And who do you have winning that?
I'll go opposite of you.
You have Alcaraz? Beating him on grass? Nah. Djokovic loves to eat grass, right?
I'm going to go because it's different from you.
Has anyone ever played the piano or the musical scale at all? So when you play like the piano, for me, because I'm aware of the piano, there, on the left hand you have like all cows eat grass, and you have every good boy does fine. So Djokovic likes to eat grass all the time.
I'm going different.
It's gonna be hard to beat Djokovic
because
out
you
there.
expect it.
He wants to eat some grass.
I usually think when people expect it, it never happens. So.
You can expect one thing. Alcaraz is going to get his ass whipped if that happens.
If he makes it to the finals.
Yeah. Who's going to beat him? We talked about this at the beginning of the show.
Maybe he could lose to Zverev. Maybe he could lose to...
Well, Djokovic isn't going to lose to any of them.
I'm talking about for his side.
Okay, fair enough. But there's on Djokovic's side, you have John Isner, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Nick Kyrgios, whatever, Casper Ruud. He's Borna Coric, Taylor Fritz, Jannik Sinner. None of these players are anywhere near.
See, I'm falling asleep. That's how I think.
Djokovic could play at 80% and beat all these bozos.
He should then.
It's like Clown City and Djokovic. Djokovic is the GOAT, provably so. Proof is in the pudding. No more debate. Who's he going to lose to unless he loses to himself?
Oh, okay. Today, I lost to myself. Not that Justin beat me. I lost to myself. So
surely you guys aren't listening to this. Surely, if you're a player or a staunch
My record
fan,
is 14-3 against Justin because I lost to myself.
what? I got dumber hearing that. I'm just telling you, Djokovic is in a level of his own unless he doesn't play to his level.
Oh my God. I was going to say worse things, but forget it.
That's all right. You just do it anyway.
Okay.
All right. Let me finish rolling down this list. Okay.
Anyways.
Top half of the men's draw: Alcaraz, someone to watch, obviously. Alexander Zverev, Matteo Berrettini, Francis Tiafoe. I'm not saying he's gonna be, make the semifinals or quarterfinals.
If he wins the slam, that means all full Western hitters will do well.
He's a positive energy entity. Tiafoe, you will rarely see him without some positive energy attached to him.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Tiafoe very watchable, win or lose. Okay. Yes, he has a funky forehand. Yes, it's jerky. Yes, it's robotic. However, I do love some of the pictures I've seen of him recently with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving Dallas Mavericks jerseys on. You all know we're sneakerheads. We have sneaker business anyway. But I just jumped on the Luka Doncic Jordan line of shoes. Matter of fact, I just got my first pair of Galaxy Doncic 2s, Jordan hit Luka 2s the other day. And I was kind of happy about them. And then lo and behold, we're doing research for Wimbledon. And here's Tiafoe that rolls out on the practice court with a Kyrie Irving Mavericks jersey on one day, and then comes back out for a later session with the Luka Doncic. So I wonder what Tiafoe's ties are to the Mavericks. Interesting. Okay, moving forward.
No, I thought that was cool. I thought that Novak can come to the U.S. Open. That's done. COVID's done here, really.
Politics are
but they already accept that. There's been an article said.
Okay, moving down the list. Grigor Dimitrov. We used to call him Baby Federer. There's no uniqueness to Dimitrov's game. It's Roger Federer's game, as I guess we could agree, right? So Dimitrov, does anyone have any expectations for Grigor at all?
No, I got a better chance.
Not really. I don't either. What about the big hitting Davidovich Fokina?
The one that wussed out because he looked at the guy because he hit him with the ball. Come on.
All right. What about Holger, aka Terrible Attitude Rune? What about him?
I hope Tiafoe beats him.
Okay. I know one thing. Holger Rune is paying Moratoglu $5,000 an hour for him to say, "Move your feet and come forward," or "Move forward." I mean, damn, you can read that. Tennis 101 at the public library. What about moving forward to Daniil Medvedev? How does Daniil Medvedev do? Put it in comments. Your boy, Iron Man, Marton Fucsovics, I will throw you. Fucsovics.
Hopefully he wins a few rounds just so I can see some matches.
Yeah, Fucsovics is synonymous with the Rocky IV Drago. You remember Rocky IV? The big Rip City blondie dude? I'm still trying to get my youngest son to watch Rocky IV.
After this show, we'll watch a movie. Rambo, maybe.
Okay, let's do this a poll question. Can you put this as a poll question? For any of you young men and young women out there that, are around our age, 45, 46, plus or minus a few, there's 3 movies when I grew up that were epic, okay? And we would watch them time and time again, okay? Which movie is better? Iron Eagle, the first one.
They're not going to know
that. Yeah, they will know that. Some of the guys will know that. Iron Eagle, the first one, okay? Rocky IV, that's with Drago, or Rambo. Any one of the Rambos, or you could throw in Predator too. So Iron Eagle, Rocky IV, Predator, or Rambo. And little man says Predator. Hey, little man, you want me to ask you a question? Come here, bro. Bring this little guy right here's a beast on the tennis court. All right, you come sit right here, buddy.
Stretch out your shirt.
Okay, hop up there. All right, so you got to sit up so we can see you, buddy, because you're like a little too short to be sitting down that low. Okay? All right, Justin. So this is Justin. Sit up straight, buddy, because your butt's hanging a little low. All right, so Justin, by the way, Justin Jr. is a really good little tennis player. So this weekend, little man is playing in an adult 3.5 level men's tournament, and he is playing with a young man named Bartu. He's from Turkey. And he is 9, right? He's 9.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin's 7, Bartu is 9, and they are playing in a men's tournament this weekend. Okay, doubles. Justin, question. How do you think you will do? Number one, how do you think you will do? Okay. So what do you think that you need to work
Look
on
at the camera,
to
buddy.
do better?
We might as well get used to that.
Yeah. He's a little timid over here. Okay.
Look at the camera. Be confident.
Yeah. There's no one even out there. It's just a ghost. It's just a ghost. He doesn't realize he's a superstar. All right, bro. We love you anyway. You can bail. He'll get there. He's got a long way to go. Thank you, buddy. All right. Anyway, he's a good kid. He's a good player too. He plays with a one-handed backhand, and absolutely, you can't. Most kids his age, you have to gnash teeth to get him to come practice. Come practice. Move your feet. Get on the dang court. What the hell, right? But he's being that. The other way, like he begs us to practice and we're having to beg him. Okay, we've played for 6 hours today. Just chill, right? Am I right or wrong?
True. So
true. Okay, moving down the list. Fucsovics, Herman Ironman, which you like a lot. Milos Raonic. Okay, what type of chances does Raonic have? Tommy Paul, Cameron Norrie, just mentioning them. Sebastian Korda, Ben Shelton, the American player.
Good for him for being ranked so high already.
Okay,
He's progressing quickly.
Ben Shelton in his first round, I think, has a lucky loser, Taro Daniel. That's just a really kind of
little short guy.
Yeah, he can just roll for a long time. Also, Laszlo Djere, you guys know that I have a fondness for Serbian players, namely because of the war-torn environment that they've lived in for generations, and a lot of these players.
So that means you're going to be for the Ukraine players next.
Me?
Yeah, because they're war.
Well, I'm not. I hate to say this, and I hope people don't get upset with me for saying this, but I really feel like geopolitics should not find its way onto the playing field.
No, I
regardless.
agree. But you just said
it seems to me that it's only the Ukrainian players that are snubbing handshakes.
But you just said that's a war-torn. So you're going to be going for the Ukraine. I mean, you went for the Serbian players, so you should do the same for Ukraine, right?
But I can't rewind back to the Kosovo
What about those
war
that might be practicing
during that time frame? And we were tournament players then. Did you ever see someone from Belarus or from Russia or from the U.S. not fly their flag because of what was going on there? And needless to say, it had nothing to do with us.
But times have changed.
Kiss my ass, whatever. I think the biggest problem currently is that we have people with the likes of was it Serenko? Who's the Ukrainian player that's what's her name? Is it Serenko?
No, it's not Serenko. It's another one. I forget her name.
It's not Svitolina.
It doesn't matter. That's what they're doing. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree, but I'm just saying, if you're going to go for Serbian players because of their torn country, then you should do the same for Ukrainian players.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that because I don't recall any of those players. I don't remember Helena Yankovic or Anna Ivanovic snubbing people's handshakes. But I'm saying they're snubbing handshakes.
Their war was done when they were playing. Their war was done. That war wasn't going on when they turned pros. That war was going on when they were little kids. Correct?
Well, either way, did you ever see Anna Ivanovic roll up to Serena Williams and be like, "Yo, I'm not shaking your hand because you're bombing my country"?
That war was over. But what I'm saying to you, I don't think we have Ukrainian guy players. I don't see many. Do you?
The last Ukrainian men's player that I can just pull out of my hat was Alexander Dolgopolov. Right? You used to think Alexander Dolgopolov will be number one in the world, and I was like laughing at you.
Just like Dimitrov, you said the same thing.
Okay. Anyway, moving forward.
And
so Cressy, serve and volleying player, which works to a certain degree on grass pretty well, is playing Laszlo Djere, the Serbian player. I think that would be a fun first round match.
Who? What?
Cressy, the serve and volleying player, against Laszlo Djere in the first round. So I think that'll be interesting.
Djere hasn't had the career that we thought he would have.
No. By the way, I haven't seen Kekmanovic. Have you seen Kekmanovic in this draw?
Too.
Okay.
I think that really, to me, the people that put Serbia on the map obviously is Djokovic, Ivanovic, Jankovic, and Tsitsipas. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the other Serbian players really have done much. I
think
those four have put them. And mainly Djokovic, obviously.
So one of our favorite tennis players, energy-wise, ever to have walked the face of the earth, wasn't a big-time major winner, never won one, was Jako Tipsarevic.
I always loved Tipsarevic.
Yeah, Tipsarevic brought fun to the game. He brought his tattoos.
I love his style.
He brought his Oakley glasses with the clear lenses. As a matter of fact, to this day, I never play or teach on the court without a pair of sunglasses on, right? I got bad eyes anyway, so I wear contacts or prescription glasses, but I always think of Tipsarevic when I put my glasses on and walk onto the court. Love that guy. Strong man, nice young man. And I always wonder how Tipsarevic is doing. If anyone out there is Serbian.
He has an academy.
Yeah. And oh, no, Alani hit it right. Cost you. Thank you, Alani. You hit it right for sure. Alani answered the question of who was the Ukrainian snubbing handshakes ad nauseum, and it was Kostyuk. Thank you, Alani. By the way, Alani, for that question, if you play tennis, I'm not sure, but email us at 5ktennis@mail.com and we'll send you something. Promise you. We'll send you a shirt. Tell us your size. Okay. Tell us your size. We'll send it regardless of where it is. Anyway, thank you for that answer.
How much more we have?
Just a little bit.
No.
We're getting close. I'm gonna cook
yes,
London broil.
It's
We're
still
gonna
too
cook a
early
London
to
broil.
cook, but
Yeah.
yes.
But I might slow cook it or whatever. Oh no, London broil might dry out.
Yeah,
We gotta do that.
It's only
we gotta do that rapidly. Okay, let's fast forward just for a moment to the Andy Murray Peniston match. This is one of those matches.
I don't even know the other player.
Not interested in watching it, but
No.
This is the type of match that we have problems with when it comes major time. It seems to me whenever you have multiple U.S. players, they pair them off like in the first round. It's like they want to weed as many of them out as possible. This is another example of that, right? We have Sophia Kenin playing Coco Gauff in the first round. You're like, wait a minute. We tend to forget Sophia Kenin won the Australian Open not terribly long ago, and then
you got them, and then you got Lauren Davis and Pegula playing against each other.
Yeah. All right, finishing off the top half of the men's draw, Stefanos Tsitsipas is facing off against former French Open champion and trying to find his way back in the thick of it, Dominic Thiem. Is there any interest for this match? Does anyone have any interest? Do you think Dominic Thiem can finally find his way back into the thick of it?
The only interest I have is if he beats him. That's it.
Don't they both play with a one-handed backhand, by the way?
Yeah.
Isn't there some beauty to that? Our little guy, JPD2, that was just sitting here, he plays with a one-handed backhand. And we've showed him both, and he always regresses back to the one-hander. I think he hits it a lot more fluidly. Okay, bottom half of the men's side, Yannick Sinner, Cerundolo, interesting match to start it out. Also, too, speaking of Cerundolo, he's Argentinian. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always think of the wonderful Juan Martín del Potro. Big fan, always have been. Would love to see Juan Martín move into the coaching world, and maybe he already is. But I always liked Juan Martín a lot. Also, I just mentioned I didn't hear from Kekmanovic. Actually, Kekmanovic plays Diego, short man Napoleon Schwartzman in the first round. Also, kind of a no-name match that should be exciting is Kopfer, the German, against a fellow German, Oscar Otte. It's another good match, believe it or not. Taylor Fritz is down here. Borna Chorch is down here. The battle of the Frenchmen, Moutet against Gasquet. Moutet, the rapper. Gasquet, the man with the big baseball bat flared out bottom of his grip. That should be interesting. Shapovalov is down here. How does your lefty one-handed backhand do?
Not well.
I don't think so. What happened anyway?
I don't know.
He was your promised land boy.
I don't know.
He just sucks now, huh?
Next.
Okay. All right. Carlos getting burnt out. Okay.
Yes.
We got Casper Ghostman Ruud. We've got Bublik. We've got Kyrgios. We have Musetti, another one-hander down there. John Isner, the serve bot. He'll have a few 7-6-7 matches, I can assure you. Moving forward, Novak Djokovic in the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Going to be interesting how that plays out. So pick your 16 men that you think will make it to the fourth round.
Musetti.
Do this. Is that Luzetti? That's funny. Okay, that's good. By the way, Gene, how is South Africa? Gene is in South Africa. Gene, how is your college endeavor coming? We should be approaching college now. As always,
He is in college.
Good. Okay, I would love to have.
I think he's going in the second year.
Would love to hear a progress report of how those grades are doing. If you come stateside, holla. All right, women's side, rolling down. Again, I projected Swiatek, Bencic, Azarenka, Gauff, Pegula, Buffalo Bills, Samsonova, Vekic, and Kontaveit. Don't forget in between a couple of names, Petra Martic, by the way. Petra Martic is a craftsman out there. She can play the game. Don't forget about Petra Martic in there. Don't forget about Kasatkina, by the way. Kasatkina, solid player. been around, knows a thing or two about the game. Azarenka, I just mentioned her. Watch out for the squeal. Turn your volume down if you're watching her because your TV screen might blow out listening to her loud ass. Same thing goes for quite a few women, namely Sabalenka. Awful. Thank gosh Sharapova and Schiavone aren't playing. Oh my gosh, I have to go get a hearing aid because they'll lose it totally. Venus Williams, Svitolina, first round, intriguing or no?
Yeah.
Intriguing or no?
Intriguing, yes.
Okay, who do you got winning that? Svitolina, Venus?
Svitolina should win.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be shocked.
We were talking about, getting rid of the watered down people. So here's another example. Pagula is playing Lauren Davis in the first round. Get rid of one of these Americans. Get rid of them.
But Pagula's ranked higher.
Just get rid of them. I still think it's a coin toss. I still think it's a coin toss. Sophia Kenin, Coco Gauff. If it was 4 years ago, I would say Coco Gauff's going to get wiped off the map. But now it might be flip-flopped. I don't know. Another coin toss. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's move down a little bit to another Ukrainian, Sarenko. We'll see if she snubs the handshake against Sharif. I don't know. She's from U.S. anyway. Kanepi. Don't forget about Kaya Kanepi. Big hitting, thick, strong girl there.
She's been done, but go ahead.
Sloane Stephens is in the mix. Stephens in the mix. Donna Vekic moving forward at the very end. We have Leylah Fernandez, who, as you all know, made the U.S. Open final and lost to Raducanu. Who the hell is that? I wonder who in the hell gave Raducanu a sponsorship for millions of dollars. Rolex, Louis Vuitton, Vogue magazine, Cosmopolitan, and who? Raducanu what? I don't know. I'd rather vote for Ostapenko. Oh, damn, girl, you got big. All right, and then Caroline Garcia in the bottom, which I'm still shocked that Caroline Garcia is the 5 seed at Wimbledon. That's a puzzling thing.
Some of the seedings, I'm like, huh?
Like, what? Caroline, what? Volley nets playing Garcia. You're like, what? All right. So by popular demand, we were asked to read a couple more of these lizard tales. For those of you that don't know, this is a book my father wrote in the 1980s, and every page is one individual thought. So one thought. So I'm going to randomly open the page and read one or two. Okay. So let's go to this page. Let's pick one. All right. Are you ready for this? All right, so this one is Fast as You Can Lizards. Okay, this one was written for my sister on the 31st of August of 1982. My sister passed away of breast cancer not terribly long ago. A fine tennis player in her own ranks. Okay, Fast as You Can Lizards. Fast as you can lizards are very good little lizards. I see them all the time, and I hear them oftener than that. Not even an hour ago on the staircase, I heard one asking another little lizard questions. I heard this. One says to the other, "How far are you from work?" The other one says, "When all goes well, only 15 minutes. The other one replies, "What sort of transportation do you use to make it there in 15 minutes? Reply is, "A 2,000-mile-an-hour jet." Other one says, "If it only takes you 15 minutes to get to work when everything goes well, how often does everything go well?" Other one says, "Everything went well once, 7 years ago, this past October." Huh. How long does it take you to get there if it doesn't work out well? 6.5 hours. So basically, you spend 13 hours a day commuting? Yes, that's tragic. But, my dear friend, I can remember that day in October as if it were yesterday. Then you're frittering your life away in nostalgia. Well, I can do it again, and I know I can. Then you're also drowning in hope. Okay? It's because shit happens once. You keep working for it, you're going to get passed by someone else. Okay, next one. This one is, I just turned the page. Munch lizards. This was written on the 12th of February, 1982, and this was for yours respectively. Justino, JD1. Munch lizards are very good little lizards. The one I saw Saturday morning reminded me of something very important. This is what happened. The munch lizard I saw was eating an apple and loving it. He offered a bite of it to another lizard who was eating a banana and loving it. He offered a bite of it to another lizard who was eating a pear and loving it. It was a very good apple, mind you, but the other lizards were chewing on something of their own. Now, the very same thing you see applies to ideas. Okay? Fair enough? Mm-hmm. All right, let me go to one more. All right, here, we'll choose this one. Always Solving Lizards. This one was written for me on 18 August 1982. Always Solving Lizards. Always solving lizards are very good little lizards, and they are always wrestling with dilemmas. After a day of wrestling, 2 of these always solving lizards went to see an older always solving lizard, and this is what I heard them say. I have defined work as something I alone do. I have defined work as something I alone do. And when I've defined work as something only done by someone else, and we ask you to resolve this dilemma for us, I'm sorry, it's after 5 o'clock. I got twisted on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go. That's
That's the last
that
one.
was, yeah, this was last one. That one lost me. We got to fix that, Dad. We got to go back to 1982 and rewrite that one. All right. Opinion lizards. And this is it. Showstopper. Drum roll. July 4th fireworks. Opinion lizards. Written for my sister. R.I.P. Love you. Miss you. 12 April 1982. Opinion lizards. Opinion lizards are very good little lizards. 2 of them were on the patio drying off from a bath, and one said to the other, it's helpful, I think, to remember that everything has an explanation, but be careful about trying to offer one.
All right.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go. We'll see you soon. And I look forward to next time. Okay,
Adios.
peace out. Let's go. Don't snub the handshake.